Alright, this is for pre-algebra and we're calculating slope of a line. The slope of a line tells us how steep the line is. The variable used to represent slope is the letter M, and the four different types of slope are positive, negative, zero, and undefined. If you saw a line that looked like this on a coordinate plane, that would have a positive slope. If you saw a line that looked like this, that would be a negative slope. And you can relate that back to the correlation of a scatter plot when we did scatter plots. If the points were scattered but close together and going in an upward direction, it was positive. If the points were close together and going in a downward direction, that would be negative. Now, zero slope, if any of you have ever been skiing, the easy slope would be the horizontal slope to ski on, because that's when you're learning how to stand on your skis or on your snowboard. But that's zero difficulty on a ski path. Okay? That's the easiest ski slope. Zero difficulty. Okay? And then for undefined, well, if we have horizontal, we have to have vertical. Okay? So those are the four different types of slope. And here's Mr. Slope Guy to help you remember. This eye is positive, and his eyebrow is going in an upward direction. This eye is negative, his eyebrow is going in a negative direction. His nose is totally vertical, and the little u for undefined. And then his mouth is zero. He must not be very happy. And there's the zeros, which could be his dimples. But that's just a way to help you try and remember positive, negative, zero, and undefined slope. The key phrase that you need to remember is rise over run. Rise is the vertical change. Run is the horizontal change. And a silly way to remember the order is, if you're sitting in your desk and I tell you to run to the office, you're going to have to rise and stand up before you can take off running. So rise over run. And here's an example. This is our line, and from this point to this point, up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3. And all of these are points on the line. And as you can see, when we said up 2, that's positive because we went up, and over 3, we just said the fraction as we were counting. So 2 over 3. Now let's try some at the bottom. Let's put it on autofocus lock, so that'll help us out a little bit. Now, they weren't nice enough to give us little black dots, but if you look for a point that's right where two lines intersect, that would give us the exact values. Well, here's one right here at 0, 2, and let's see if we can find another one. Let's go with this one right here. Now, when we count the slope from a line that's on a coordinate plane, always start from the point that's most to the left. So if we count the rise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's up 6 and over 2. Well, that's our rise, that's our run, and that can be simplified to 3. If we go up 3 over 1, we're on the line. That wasn't a point that we used, but it is a point. Up 3 over 1, still on the line. All right, next. This, just by looking at it, is a negative slope, so our answer is going to be negative something. Trying to find 2 points. Here's one, and here's one. We always start with the point that's most to the left. Now we're going down, so that's going to be -1, down 1 over 2. So -1 over 2. Well, that can't be simplified any more than it is. Down 1 over 2 on the line. Down 1 over 2 on the line. Down 1 over 2 still on the line. Now, those weren't points that we used because we only had to count between 2. All right, looking at this line, and it's a little light, but just looking at that line, it's going to be undefined. We don't even have to count. But if we did, the vertical change would be 4, so that's 4 over. And the horizontal change, there is none, so that's 0. And the reason why this is called undefined is because you can't divide by 0. Now, for those of you that use your calculators, if you type in 4 divided by 0, your calculator is going to say error, division by 0 error. That's when you know it's undefined, because you cannot divide by 0. Okay, let's try a couple more. Now here we're given some graphs with the lines where they've already given us the points. So the one that's most to the left, start there. The rise is up and over 2. And just looking at it, it's a positive slope, up 1 over 2. And as we said that looks like our fraction. All right, here's one. Just looking at it, we know it's negative. Starting from the point that's most to the left, we're going to go down 2 over 2, down 2 over 2. And when we simplify that, that's going to be -1. Down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. All these points are on the line. We just didn't use all of them. We only had counted from one point to another. All right. This is going to be positive, up 1 over 2. Can't simplify. We're done. This one, just looking at it, is negative, down 5 over 4. -5 over 4, and that can't be simplified. Well, here we've got one that's totally horizontal. Think of the ski slope. When you're a beginner, you're going to go on the trail that's 0 difficulty. We don't even have to count it, but we will. There is no vertical change, so that's 0 over 1. And if you type that into your calculator, 0 divided by 1, you get 0. Okay. And that concludes our finding the slope from a graph line. Now we're going to jump to the lesson on calculating slope using the formula. Here's our formula. Slope equals, and these are not exponents, you're not raising those values to the higher power, y2 minus y1, that'll make a little bit more sense in just a minute, over x2 minus x1. Remember, this is the vertical change over the horizontal change. Now, the subscripts 2, they're trying to make sure that you use the x and y value for the same point in the first position, and the x and y value here in the second position. They belong to the same point. I'm going to show you a way that you can't accidentally mix them up. First, we're going to stack the ordered pairs. It's important that you double check that you're copying them down correctly. Remember, in our ordered pairs, x is first, y is second. Subtracting the y's, 2 minus 5 equals -3. Now we're going to subtract the x's. -3 minus 5 is -8. And never, ever, ever leave a negative in your denominator. But that's real easy to fix. What's a negative divided by a negative? It's positive. 3/8 can't be simplified anymore, so this means it goes up 3 and over 8. All right. Next, let's try the next one. So, remember, x is first, y is second. That's -3, -4, -2, -8. We're going to subtract the y's first. -4 minus -8. This is where people sometimes lose a negative because they think of the subtraction sign. So, -3 minus -2. -4 minus -8 is +4. -3 minus -2 is -1. Can't leave a negative in the denominator. A positive divided by a negative is negative. 4 over 1 can be simplified to simply 4. That means it goes down 4 and over 1. All right, this ordered pair, I'm running out of room. -3, 4, 4, 4. Remember, the first value is x, the second value is y. 4 minus 4, subtracting the y's on top. Now for the x's, -3 minus 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. -3 minus 4 is -7. 0 divided by -7 is 0. A line that would be 0 slope, remember, is totally horizontal. Our last set of ordered pairs, -2, -4, and -2, 3. Remember, these are x, whoops, these are y's. Sorry about that. Subtracting the y's first, -4 minus 3. Subtracting our x's, -2 minus -2. -4 minus 3 is -7. -2 minus -2 is 0. Now, you can check this with your calculator, but this is undefined. Remember, that's going to be a totally vertical line. Remember, you cannot divide by 0. So it's undefined, and if you type it into your calculator, it's going to tell you error, division by 0 error. Another silly way to remember it is this almost looks like the word under. And undefined is when the 0 is under your fraction bar. Okay? So undefined. So today your assignment was to finish problems 1 through 10, and that concludes Slope, Lesson 8-6.